Hey everybody, so if you're familiar with my blog, or the tutorial that I did last week, you'll know that I am doing a series right now called Makeup of the Ancient World, where I, take a look at different ancient cultures and the cosmetics that they used and base a modern wearable look off of what they did then. So the last one that I did would have been Greece, where we did a very neutral, very natural looking eye. That was what they were all about. Today we're doing Egypt, which for me, what obviously I think everybody thinks of when they think of Egypt is like a really dark, smoky, coal eye, with lots of black eyeliner, maybe more of a cat eye, which is what I did. But I found when I was doing my research for them, they absolutely loved like a green eyeshadow. But because it's a very eyeliner heavy look, what they liked and what they did, I decided to forego green shadow. I've decided to forego a lot in terms of shadow, and I just went actually with a green pencil liner, and I just smudged it on the lash line. I did use a little bit of shadow just because I thought it helped bring it out, and because I think a cat eye or this sort of more heavy, more dramatic looking eye definitely benefits from it. I just added some false eyelashes because I thought they looked a little cool with it. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to apply an eyeshadow base, and I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden this time. I think Eden's a little bit thicker, I think it's a little bit more suited to this look. It's a more of a heavy duty primer rather than the original, and I apply it both above and on my upper and lower eyelids. Because I am using product under my eyelids, I want to have that primer there because it's going to help not have it shift around. And then I'm going to use a setting powder of some sort. This, if you guys are aware from some of my other tutorials, you know that I have oily eyelids, so I use a setting powder on top of my primer to get the maximum out of my makeup. And this is just one that I made, so I just took a loose powder and added some cornstarch to it. So the first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually be applying two eyeshadows. That's all I'm going to be applying for eyeshadow today. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Naked Basics palette from Urban Decay, and I'm going to take Walk of Shame, which is a very neutral sort of skin tone. And I'm just going to apply that on my eyelid, just because I don't want anything super noticeable. And then I'm going to take an angled liner brush, or not liner brush, an angled eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to take the Wet n Wild Blue Had Me at Hello palette, and I'm going to be using this definer shade, the matte one, not the sparkly one, the matte one. And I'm going to tap off the excess. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, from the outer corner of my eye to the outer corner of my brow bone, I'm just going to bring a line up diagonally, and I'm going to sweep it into my crease. And I'm just going to blend it really good. And the reason why I am doing a crease shade or a crease shadow with this, and I am doing it somewhat cut, is because it actually helps define this look, and it brings it sort of to the more modern era. And then I'm just going to blend it out with my eye open. So I put my brush in the crease and I run it back and forth. This helps with the blending, and it helps put it in your natural crease. So now I have it blended in. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be moving on to the eyeliner. So I'm going to be taking Cargo Swimables liners. These are all pencils. This is actually a former collection that they had. I haven't seen it since. This one was called, I think this one was called Deep Green. And they don't really make these ones anymore. They were a really brightly colored set. I'm going to lay a thick line of it on my upper lash line. And I'm going to take a smudge brush. And I'm just going to put it in there, and I'm going to work it back and forth. Just blending it out, blending it into the lash line. Wing it just a tiny bit at the end. Just making a nice thick line. Don't just do a thick line with this. They're nice and smooth and blendable, so that's why I decided to use that one. You can use any dark green eyeliner if you can find one. And then I'm going to take Urban Decay 24/7 liquid liner in Perversion, which is black. And I'm just going to line my eyelid. I am going to do a fairly thick line because I want it sort of to be more cat eye-like. So I definitely bulk it up at the middle of my lash, the middle of my eye rather, and then really wing it out. And bring it down just a little bit underneath my lower lash line. And I also sort of bring it down and around my tear duct. I can do this with liquid liner here. I have heard of people who can't do this with liquid liner, or they prefer pen style to do this. But whatever you find easiest, do that. And then I'm just going to take Feline from MAC, which is an actual kohl liner, which is what the Egyptians would have used. And I'm going to line my waterline. But I'm not just going to line my waterline, I'm kind of going to smudge it a little bit along my lower lash line as well. And then I'm going to take, where is it? Another smudge brush, a different one. So for my upper lash line I used my Coastal Scents one, and this one is just a Sephora smudge brush. I'm using two different ones obviously because I didn't want to taint the green with black when I did this. And I'm just going to smudge that over. And to complete the eyeliner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Urban Decay 24/7 liquid liner in El Dorado, because I think everybody thinks of gold when they think of the Egyptians. I'm just going to line under the part where my tear duct is. I'm going to do a little more on this side, as well as under the wing. Just sort of as little highlights. Then, because I'm going to also be wearing false lashes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to curl my upper lashes. And then I'm going to use my favorite lengthening volume mascara, which is Cargo, which is the Cargo Lash Activator, and I'm going to be applying that really heavy on the outside lashes. Make sure to wiggle the brush because that gives you some separation and definition. Okay. And then a mascara that I don't normally like, but for this I am using it because it has a nice small brush, is the Stila Forever Your Curl, and I'm actually going to also be applying some mascara to my lower lash line. Not huge tons so that it looks like you're crying, but enough that you can tell. And then I'm going to be taking my these are the Katy Perry lashes from Eyelure. These ones are Cool Kitty, so they're full, really full lash. And I'm going to be taking those. and I'm going to be taking the glue. Now, some people use tweezers for these. Some people have special false lash tweezers. I do much prefer using my hands. I think I have, or my fingers. I think I have more control that way. And I'm just going to put a thin line of glue along where the band is. So my camera will focus. There, now you can see it. And I'm going to take it actually by the middle of the lash, and I'm going to, for me, what works best is if I pull my eyelid a little bit out to the side, like you're putting on pencil liner, and then just sort of securing lash as you go. For me, I also find that it doesn't matter if I let the glue set up for a minute or if I don't, except at the moment I'm totally failing at it. Believe me, they were not this hard earlier to put on. Total fail. There we go. So now you have your false lashes on. Give them a minute to dry. These come with like a white lash glue, as opposed to like a clear or a black. You can use whatever lash glue you like. I happen to like their lash glue, so I stick with it. So your eyes are done. Next thing you're going to do is your cheek. I'm going to be using Smashbox Blush in Flush, which is a very natural, sort of glowy. I also already applied bronzer and a highlight. You can use any one you like. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply Glamour Air from MAC. But really you can really use any brown tone nude. Just for your lips. And let's see the full look. So as you can tell, it's super dramatic eye and more of a neutral lip. In fact, you can actually just go with a gloss instead of a lipstick. But I think I like the way this looks. I think I might even wear this tomorrow. So whatever you do, if you're going to tune in for the next episode, we are actually going to go way far east from Egypt. We are going all the way to the Orient. So we are going to do more of an Eastern, Asia Minor style makeup, which is definitely more lip heavy as opposed to eye heavy, which I find more in the Asia Major. Oh. See, I can't remember my ancient history continents now. But it's definitely going to be more lip heavy as opposed to eye heavy. So we'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.